Thank you, Lord, for let me see another day. Jumped about the bed, hit my knees and had to pray. Ask him to leave me out of Satan on the prey. So send your angel, he can guide me on my way. He made a way, I remember days that look kinda dim. I can't complain, every breath, yeah, I owe to him. So simmer down, it be better days that come around. A living dog is better than being underground. Let me expound, the breath of life is in your lungs. On top of that, the Father sent his only son. But you forgot, know every day we gotta get paid. So put your hands up and get a Lord all the praise. If you're happy and you know what we do, clap, clap. If the Lord been good to you, what we do, clap, clap. You know the devil about to lose, what we do, clap,
jamming to that. I probably just messed up their whole flow. But hey, alright, let me start over. Let me start over. Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody. Welcome to the morning brew. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday morning. Hope everybody had a great memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. And hey, we're back to the regularly scheduled program. Hold on, let me turn this music down. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good feast of the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. And I pray that we can make it to the next Sabbath and to the Day of Atonement with with blessings, man. And I want to praise the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and everyone that's watching. And I really want to thank God for allowing us to be here a new day. And again, I want to thank whoever's watching for pulling up. And we're gonna get into this book. So last time we was on here, we was reading what Genesis 23 through 25, and within that, we start seeing we start to see the birth of twins, um, Esau and Jacob, right? But even before then, we start we see that this covenant is passed down from Abraham and is going to Isaac. But before it goes to Isaac, we see that the Lord puts Abraham through a test. He tells Abraham, look, take your son, your only son Isaac, and sacrifice him. Put him up for an offering. And Abraham did it, but the Lord stopped him right before he was about to kill his own son, and was like, "Look, now I know that you fear God." So then the covenant, the promise that God's given to Abraham, is now going down. It's like changing hands down to Isaac, and from Isaac, he's gonna have two more sons, the twins, Esau and Jacob, and out of one of them, the covenant is still gonna proceed. And we see that in Genesis, what was it? In Genesis 25 and 23, that the Lord tells who's that, Rebecca? Yeah, that the Lord tells Rebecca that you got two nations struggling within you, right? And he said, in verse 23, he said, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people. So there's you got twins in your stomach, but they're gonna be two whole different nations, right? And two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So like naturally we know like that the birthright, the inheritance is supposed to be given to the firstborn child. Now Esau was the firstborn child, but God told Rebecca when they were still in the womb, like it's two manner of people, and the older one is gonna serve the younger. So the younger one is pretty much gonna have the power, the autonomy. You feel me? But the older one, he's gonna serve his brother, right? So that's that's what leads us into where we are now. So I guess we could go ahead and get into this Genesis chapter 26. Hold on, let me pull my Bible up. Whoop. All right, and we can start it from here. It says, and there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. So now we see that yeah, this covenant is being passed down through Isaac. It's a famine in the land, and the Lord is telling Isaac, like go down in this place where I'm gonna tell you of, right? And he said, and I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father, right? So verse 4 he says, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. So again, we see that this covenant is still continuing through Isaac. Verse 5, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge and my covenants, my statutes and my law. So why did Abraham get this promise, this covenant? Because Abraham obeyed the voice of God and kept his charge and his commandments and his statutes and God's laws. Like that's why God chose him to himself. I'm gonna flip over to Hebrews chapter 11 real quick, because we see that 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 obedience was a sign of faith. It says in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 8, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, he did what? Obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Right? So this obedience was really just a sign of faith. So when people tell you that you gotta have faith in God, yeah, you gotta have faith, but that faith is gonna be shown by obedience to what He has to say. So verse 5 again is verse 4. I'm gonna start again. It says, and he said, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Let's keep going into verse 6. It says, and Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, she is my sister. For he feared to say, she is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill you and should kill me for Rebecca, because she was fair to look upon. So low key, he's going through the same thing that his dad had to go through, because he had Abraham had to do the same thing with Sarah. I forgot what country they was in, but Abraham had to do the same thing with Sarah. Like he pulled up to this one country. I'm trying to see what actual country it was, just so I ain't, you know, misquoting it or nothing. But oh well. But even the king of that nation took Abraham's wife, and God had to stop him from laying with her before he caused a great sin upon his people, right? So Isaac he being tempted with the same thing. So it says, and Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, she is my sister. For he feared to say, she is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife. So the king of the land is looking outside, and you see Isaac and Rebekah, but they out there playing, right? And Abimelech, verse 9, and Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, of a surety she is thy wife. And how saidest thou, she is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, because I said, lest I die for her. And Abimelech said, what is this that thou hast done unto us? One of the people might lightly have lined with thy wife, and thou shouldest brought this guiltiness upon us. So Abimelech's like, look, why didn't you tell us this was your wife? Because somebody might have laid with her, not even thinking about it, and you would have brought a great sin among us, brought guiltiness upon us. And verse 11, it says, and Abimelech charged all his people, saying, he that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. So Abimelech, hey, he's on Isaac's side on this, all right? Now Isaac sowed in that land and received in the same year an hundredfold, and the Lord blessed him. So he caused Isaac to be blessed in the land of the Philistines. Verse 13, and the man waxed very great, and the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. So now this man is so prosperous that the people around him, the nations that are around him, they looking at him with a jealous eye because this one man is being so blessed by God. He said he said he had a possession of flocks, a possession of herds, and a great store of servants. Verse 15, it says, for all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. So in the time of Abraham and Abraham's servants, they built a well in the land of the Philistines. So down in Isaac's time, Isaac's in the land of the Philistines again, and it says, for all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. So now they're like, he's oh wait, it says, for he had possession of flocks of herds and great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. So now the king Abimelech, he's looking at Isaac. He's like, look, you've grown greater than us. So it's probably about time that we separate. We go our separate ways, right? For thou art much mightier than we. Verse 17, it says, and Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the age of Abraham his father. So he's digging out the wells that have been stopped up by the Philistines, and now he's trying to get them to be filled with water again. So it says, and Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esau, because they strove with him. So now the Philistines want to lay claim to this well that Abraham and them built in their time. So now they're trying to strive with Isaac, being like, man, this is our well. And Isaac's like, man, my father built this, bro. And verse 21, it says, and they digged another well and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence and digged another well, for that they strove not. Oh, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth. And he said, for now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba. And the Lord appeared unto him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he builded an altar there, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants digged a well. So now they Isaac's moving up to Beersheba, and the Lord pretty much gave a confirmation of his covenant. and and now Isaac's gonna build a little altar in this land and stay there for a little bit. So then in verse 26 it says, then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, the place where Isaac previously was, and Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, wherefore come ye to see me? Why did you come to see me? Seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you. And what they say? And they said, we saw certainly that the Lord was with thee. And we said, let there be now an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have not done unto thee nothing but good, and have sent away and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art now blessed of the Lord. So now Abimelech, king of the Philistines, he's like he came up to Isaac, and Isaac's like, man, why y'all come to see me, seeing y'all hate me? So he's like, look, we came so we can make a covenant with you, that you won't hurt us, that you won't hurt us or our countries, because when you came into our land, we treated you with hospitality, did we not? So now Abimelech's pretty much asking for that same hospitality and mercy to be reciprocated, because now Isaac's become greater than the Philistines. He said that thou would do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and and as we have done nothing unto thee but good, and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art now the blessed of the Lord. In verse 30 it says, and he made him a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they rose up betimes in the morning, and sware one to another, and Isaac sent them away. And they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass on the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, we have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bashemath, the daughter of Elam the Hittite, which were grief of mine unto Isaac and Rebekah. So Esau done took a couple of wives now, and that's starting to grieve Isaac and Rebekah, because well, I don't even know if that even, oh yeah, because then he already went and sold his birthright at this point. But it says, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. So somehow, some way, Isaac and Rebekah was troubled that Esau, I guess, got these couple of wives, and he's probably gonna have descendants now. So let's keep going forward into chapter 27. It says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. Oh wait, hold up. Hmm. My bad. I'm still trying to. I'm still trying to figure out that last verse 35, where it says, "Which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and Rebekah." So it's like Esau was grieving the mind of his parents for some reason. But I'm gonna leave a pin in that, you know, and we can double back to it later, Lord willing. But chapter 27, and it says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison, and make me savory meat such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake unto Esau his son. and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. So now Isaac's getting old, and he's asking Esau, his firstborn son, like look, make me some food real quick. Like go out hunt and make me some venison so that before I die I can bless you. And mind you, this was supposed to be the blessing of the firstborn, the birthright that was passed out, right? But remember last time that Esau had already sold this birthright for a bowl of beans to his brother, right? So now it's time for this blessing, this birthright to actually come into effect. And we seen previously when he sold it to Jacob that at that time it said he despised his birthright. Like he didn't really care about it like that, because at that time he was like, man, what is this birthright doing for me? Like he was just out there hungry, and the future birthright he was gonna get, that wasn't doing nothing for him at the time. So now Isaac though, he wasn't privy to that. So he still thinks that Esau's the one that has to get this birthright. But the mama knows something that he don't. And it says, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went into the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. Verse 6. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee uh, before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I commanded thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence two good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loved. So so Rebecca's pretty much like, look, I done heard what your dad told your brother. So I want you to go out to the flock, grab a lamb. What, that's right, a lamb, right? Oh, bring me a goat, right? Or bring me two goats, and I'm gonna whip them up for him, right? And verse 10 it says, And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. So that's how Jacob's gonna end up getting this blessing from his father, right? It says in verse 11, And Jacob said unto Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. So Jacob's like, look, ma, I know you want me to bring this food under pot, but like like he thinks I'm Esau, and Esau's a hairy man and I'm a smooth man. So he might feel me and know that I'm not Esau and put a curse on me instead of a blessing, which was the complete opposite of what, you know, what his mama wanted him to get, a blessing, right? So it says, verse 13, and his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse. So like if your father curse you, hey, let that curse be upon me. My son, only obey my voice and go fetch me them. Verse 14 says, And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. But Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. So she pretty much took Esau's clothes, threw them on Jacob, so he smells like him. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. So the goats that she told him to go grab, not only was she making venison out of it, she even took the skins of them and used those to disguise them and make him feel as hairy as Esau. And it says, verse 17, and she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee. Sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me. So now Jacob's pulling up to his father as Esau, right? He said, my father. And Jacob's like, here am I. Who are you, my son? And Jacob was like, I'm Esau, your firstborn, you know? And I pray that you eat of this venison so you can bless me. And then Isaac was like, man, how did you find this food so quickly? And Jacob was like, man, the Lord brought it to me, bro. So Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou may be my very son Esau or not. So see, Rebecca already knew about this. This was going to happen, but she already had it covered. So it says, and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned them not, because his hands were hairy, and his brothers, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him, and he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I'll eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near him, and he did eat, and brought him wine, and he did drink. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. But see, this kiss is really another test from Isaac. And it says, and he smelled the smell of his raiment. So like he was like, come kiss me, my son, so he could smell him. And he said, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So it's like see, this is what Esau was supposed to get, but since it got sold to Jacob, Jacob's getting it. You're gonna get the fatness of the earth, plenty of corn and wine. People are gonna serve you. Nations are gonna bow down to you. You're gonna be Lord over your brothers, and cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesseth thee. Dang, I didn't even scroll down for y'all. But yeah, right here says, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren. Let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee. Blessed be he that blesseth thee. Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone from out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came from his hunting. So now like right after Jacob get up out of there from getting the blessing, Esau pulls up, right? And he says, and he also had made savory meat. So he made the stuff he was originally supposed to be bringing to his father, right? It says, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. So it's like Jacob's pretty much thinking like, bro, I was just in here talking to Esau. I was just sitting up in here talking to Esau. So like who is this? Right? Like I already blessed my son Esau, so who's pulling up on me now? So it says, and Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Hold up. Nah, I'm finna pull up this Snoop Dogg real quick. So, right, it said, it said, and Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, What he say? Hold up. He trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, that and I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him? Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. All right, hold on, let me get Snoop Dogg down. But that's what it making me think of when it say he trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? But we're gonna get back into it. Hold up, let me switch my screen again. Switching the screen, switching the screen, switching the screen. That's what we doing. All right, so where was we at? Okay, we down around 35. So it said, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. Verse 35. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he had supplanted me these two times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, O my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and above the dew of heaven, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother. So like Esau started hating Jacob from that point on. So now he's waiting on his father to die. And once his father died, he's planning on killing Jacob, his brother. And it says, and these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill you, or purposing to kill you, to kill thee, I mean. Verse 43. Now therefore, my son, what were we at? Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Excuse me, y'all. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, and to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away. So pretty much stay with your uncle Laban until Esau calms down a little bit, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to us, and Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land. What good shall my life do to me? We're going into chapter 28. It says, and Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So as he's going up to Laban, he said his dad wants him to look for a wife up there, back in their hometown. So it says, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother, and God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram unto Laban, the son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram to take him a wife from thence, that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Padan Aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had at Maalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, his to be his wife. So now Esau seeing that, okay, so my dad don't want us to marry no Canaanite women, so he ends up marrying a woman of the seed of Ishmael. And verse 10, it says, and Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran, and he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them up for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it, and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and I will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. So now, like, the Lord's pretty much telling Jacob, like, look, I'm with you. Like, Jacob came to be to going toward Haran, and he ended up staying in a certain place, I guess between Beersheba and Haran. And it said he lighted upon a certain place and pretty much laid there, you know, set down some pillows and went to sleep. So in this dream, you see a ladder and the angels of God descending and ascending on it, and God standing above it, like, look, I'm the God of your father Abraham, and I'm the God of your father Isaac, and the land where you lying, look, I'm giving this to your seed. So like you can look north, south, east, and west. Wherever you see, that's what I'm gonna give to your children, right? And it says, and thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth. So not even am I gonna give your seed this land. Your seed are gonna be so much they can't be numbered, right? And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed, right? So, verse 16, it says, And Jacob awakened out of his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of the city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I will go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. So like Jacob's sitting here like, man, so if God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I will go, and give me bread and clothes, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. So that, oh wait, then shall the Lord be my God. So I guess pretty much so that when he goes back to Abraham's house, that he'll come in peace, because he left and it was discord. And verse 22, it says, and this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house. And all of that, wait, hold up. Oh, and all that thou shalt give me will I surely give a tenth unto thee. So now we even see that Jacob, we seen Abraham give tithes to Melchizedek, right? But now we see that Jacob is setting up a vow to pay tithes to God too. Like, and this is again before even um the Levites came around, because Levi is the son of Jacob, and with the Levites came the statute of tithing, paying a tenth to pretty much pay God a tenth. But we see that is it started with Abraham and Melchizedek, and it's still being perpetuated through Jacob, right? So chapter 29, it says, then Jacob went on his journey, and he came into the land of the people of the east, and he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it, for out of that well they watered the flocks. And a great stone was upon the well's mouth. So now he's coming into the land of his fathers, into Haran again, right? And once he's coming into it, he sees that there's sheep lying by a well, and there was a great stone which is upon the mouth of the well. So it says in verse 3, and thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place. Verse 4, and Jacob said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we. So he's like, he sees the folks, like, where y'all from? And they said, of Haran are we. And he said unto them, know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, we know him. And he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh forth with the sheep. And he said, lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle shall be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, we cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth, and then we water the sheep. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, that and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban his mother's brother. So now he's pulling up, and pretty much helping them, water the sheep and stuff like that, water the flock. And he's really helping Rachel, the daughter of Laban, because it seemed like he got some interest in her. So it kind of like you got some interest in a girl at work, and you might push up on her and help her some, you know. But it says in verse 11, and Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son, And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said unto him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. So like now he's pulling up, and she ran and told Rachel ran and told her father, and Laban came and heard the news and was like, okay, surely you're pretty much you're my family, you know, like surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. Verse 15. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? So Laban's like, because you're my brother, like, are you gonna serve me for nothing? Like, tell me, what should thy wages be? So what should I pay you for your service to me? And verse 16, and Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with thee. So now Jacob, for his payment, he wants Rachel, the girl he was just helping out, Laban's youngest daughter. He wants her. And he said, and Laban was like, okay, it's better that I give her to thee than I should give her to another man, because again they family. So he said, abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this? What is this that thou hast done to me? Did not I serve thee with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? So Jacob's waking up, and the woman he was working for is not the same woman that's in his bed. It's her older sister. So he's like didn't I serve thee all this time for Rachel, your youngest daughter? So why is your other daughter in bed with me, right? Like, well, like, why did you lie to me? So like Laban must have got this man drunk or something, because it say he made a great feast, or made a feast, gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. So yeah, he probably had a little too much to drink that night or something, right? But verse 26, it says, and Laban said, It must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. So Laban's like, okay, so in our country, it's more customary to give the firstborn first rather than the younger one, right? Fulfill her week, and we will give thee, this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me 7 other years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid. Oh, and Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. So this man don't work 14 years just to get Rachel. Like, he worked 7 and intended to get her after the 7. But after the switch up, he worked 7 more years. It says in verse 31, and the Lord and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So even in the midst of all of this, the Lord is still fair, because it seemed like Jacob had favoritism toward Rachel. but probably didn't care too much about Leah. So the Lord is deciding to have that compassion upon Leah and open up her womb. And it says, but Rachel was barren. Verse 32, and Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. So she thinking that Jacob's gonna love her because now she's born a son. Verse 33, and she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore he called therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah and left barren. So now out of Leah, you're about to get two of you could say two of the most prominent tribes of Israel. You get Judah and Levi. Levi being the priest nation, Judah being the pretty much the one that's gonna the tribe everyone's gonna look to, right? But that was what Genesis chapters 26 through 29, and I pray somebody got some understanding in Jesus' mighty name. I pray that this some kind of understanding, something you know popped up in your head, but I don't even know. I was trying to think of something good to say, but I couldn't think of it at all. But I appreciate y'all for pulling up with me today, and it's always good to get into this word and show the Lord some thanks. So, Lord willing, we'll be back here tomorrow or some other time this week, and we'll get into chapters 30, 31, 30, 31, 32, and 30 through 33. And yeah, so before I get off, I want to give all praises, thanks, glory, and honor to the Most High God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And yeah, I pray the Lord bless y'all as He blesses me. In Jesus' name.